Okay, so welcome everyone to today's masterclass on marketing fundamentals. So this session is part of the No Time for Bootcamp training series specifically tailored for busy entrepreneurs like yourself. This is done in partnership with the Cardano Catalyst program. Our focus is on practical strategies that can be immediately implemented to grow your strategies from scratch. So today, we'll dive deep into the essentials of marketing. We'll explain how to define and understand your product, identify and reach your target audience, analyze your competition, and establish a strong and unique brand. We'll also discuss how to build an effective marketing team and leverage AI tools to enhance your strategies. We'll also discuss legal considerations, as in marketing, we'll make sure you stay compliant and avoid potential pitfalls. By the end of this session, you'll have a comprehensive understanding of how to effectively market your project from the ground up. This is month 2 of the Busy Entrepreneurs Bootcamp, where we delve into marketing essentials. Over the next 4 masterclasses, we will cover marketing fundamentals. So we'll start with the basics, ensuring a solid foundation for all your marketing efforts. This includes understanding your product market fit, identifying your target audience, analyzing your competition, and defining your unique selling points. This is what we'll talk about today. On the next session, we'll be creating and executing a marketing strategy. Once we have the basics down, we'll move on to developing a comprehensive marketing strategy. This involves planning your marketing campaigns, setting realistic goals, and implementing tactics to achieve those goals. We'll then go on to the scaling and growth session. As your project gains traction, you'll need to scale your marketing efforts. We'll discuss how to manage growth, optimize your marketing channels, and expand your reach. The last session, we'll talk about PR and dealing with the media. We'll cover public relations and media management. This includes crafting press releases, building relationships with journalists, and handling media inquiries effectively. By the end of this month, you should have a solid understanding of these core areas, setting you up for marketing success. Let's start. Today, actually, we'll be talking about product market fit, competitive analysis, defining your USP, unique selling point, branding, building a marketing team, and using AI more specifically. So let's start with the product market fit. This is crucial for any project and involves several key steps. The first step is defining your project. You'll need to clearly outline what your project is. Is it a decentralized exchange? Is it a DAO? Is it an NFT collection? Is it a metaverse platform or something else? This clarity helps in communicating your project to potential users and investors. If your project is a DEX, define what makes your exchange different from others. Is it the user interface, the supported tokens, or the security measures? Second, let's understand your product or service. We need to list all the features and benefits of your product or service. What makes it stand out? What unique feature does it offer? How do these features benefit the users? For example, an NFT collection might highlight unique artistic elements, the rarity of items, or any additional utilities like access to exclusive events. Third, we need to identify the problem that it solves. We need to clearly define the problem your product or service addresses. What pain point does it alleviate for your users? Highlighting the utility of your product is crucial marketing. It's very, very important to define the problem. If your product is a productivity app, for example, the problem might be the time management for busy professionals. Your app could offer unique features like AI-driven task prioritization, which would help and alleviate the pain that the problem has caused. Fourth, we need to define whether you're following the trend or doing something new. We need to determine if your project is riding a current trend or if it's breaking a new ground. Both approaches have their merits, but understanding where you stand can guide your marketing strategy. For example, riding a trend could mean entering the NFT market with a unique spin. Doing something new might involve pioneering a new type of DAO structures. These two differences have a big impact in how you'll define your marketing strategies. Fifth, we're validating demand. It's really essential to validate the demand for your product with evidence and data. We need to avoid making assumptions. We need to use surveys, market research, and data analysis to back up your claims. Six, we'll need to identify the target audience. Who will use or buy your product? Define your target audience as specifically as possible. That's super important in terms of effectively creating marketing strategies that will go to the right people. We need to consider factors like age, gender, income, education, occupation, location, and industry. For example, for a fintech solution, your target might be millennials and Gen Z, individuals interested in managing their finances through innovative platforms. Number 7 is we need to define if your project is niche or if it's mainstream. Each approach requires different marketing strategies. And lastly, we're going to talk about market research. Through market research, a thorough market research is the backbone of your marketing efforts. We need to collect and analyze data to understand market trends, consumer preferences, and competitive landscape. So making sure that we understand what other companies are doing in the space, even if they're not exactly what you're trying to do, but do take a part of the market. So to ensure understanding, we'll discuss more about this, each parts separately. So first, let's talk about the target audience. Defining your target audience is fundamental to your marketing success. Here's how you can delve deep into the specifics. So first, let's talk about demographic. We need to break down your audience into detailed segments. We need to consider their age, gender, income, education, identity, occupation, location, and the industry they belong to. For instance, if your product is a high-end tech gadget, your target might be tech-savvy professionals aged 25 to 45 with a higher disposable income. We then need to define the pain points. We need to understand the problems, needs, and desires and dreams of your audience. What challenges are they facing that your product can solve? For example, if you're launching a new, as mentioned before, the new productivity app, your audience might be struggling with time management and looking for tools to boost their efficiency. Then we need to understand values, beliefs, and behaviors. We need to assess the values and beliefs that drive your audience's decisions. What are their daily habits? Understanding these factors can help you craft messages that resonate on a deeper level. This is really understanding your target to create more effective marketing strategies, which will result in better sales. Then we need to define our preferred marketing channels. It's very important to identify where your audience spends their time online. Are they more active on social media? Or do they prefer email newsletters? Tailoring your marketing efforts to their preferred channels increases engagement. For example, if your audience is younger, platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube might be more effective. However, for professional audience, LinkedIn and email newsletters could be more appropriate. And lastly, we need to create a persona that will represent your target audience. Developing a detailed persona for each segment of your audience is really important. These personas should include a name, age, job title, interests, and a brief background story. This helps in personalizing your marketing efforts and making them more relatable. For example, for a tech-savvy persona, we could create a person like Tom, a 30-year-old software engineer who loves the latest gadgets, or Emma, a 25-year-old eco-friendly environmentalist focused on sustainability for a sustainability project. By segmenting your audience, you can develop different strategies for different segments, but also look for commonalities. This is especially important if your budget is limited, as it allows you to create tactics to multiply segments at once. So now we'll talk about the competitor analysis, which is a very important part in crafting your marketing strategy. So here's how to conduct a thorough competitor analysis. First off, identify your competitors. Start by identifying who your direct and indirect competitors are. That's very important, two differences. Direct competitors offer similar products or services, while indirect competitors may offer different solutions to the same problem. For a new social media platform, for example, direct competitors could be Facebook and Twitter, while indirect competitors could include messaging apps like WhatsApp. Second, we need to assess their scale. We need to look at the scale of your competitors. How large is their user base? What market share do they hold? How big are their revenues? How much have they fundraised? This helps in understanding their influence and positioning in the market. It's important to compare the user base and engagement levels of your direct competitor to gauge market saturation and potential. Then we'll evaluate their strengths. So we need to understand what your competitors are doing right. What strategies are they using that seems to be working? This could include their marketing strategies, customer service, product features, and more. So for example, we would analyze successful marketing campaigns by competitors to identify effective tactics and messages. Then we would go on to their weaknesses. It's also very important to see what they are doing wrong. Are there gaps in their services? Are there customer complaints that you can address better? Are there some problems with how they communicate their messages? We need to understand and check reviews, feedback, news articles about what people are saying about your competitors to get a real insight into what they're doing wrong. So we find out what your competitors are not doing, and then we define what are the needs in the market that are not being met by existing products. These unmet needs represent opportunities for your project. This is something that you can do for every competitors, is understand what they could do better so that you create an opportunity out of it. And with these opportunities, we can visualize market gaps. We use the information gathered to identify gaps in the market that your product can fill. These gaps can be turned into opportunities for innovation and differentiation. For example, if competitors lack strong customer support, positioning your brand around superior customer service can be a differentiator. Or if your competitor lacks transparency or trust, this could be a very important factor in your communication strategies. Next, we're going to talk about your unique selling point, USP. This is what sets you apart from the competition. To define a compelling USP, let's follow these steps. First, we need to leverage previous findings, use the data and insights gathered from your product fit product and market fit analysis and competitor research to craft your USP. We're going to craft your elevator pitch first. Your USP should be encapsulated in a concise elevator pitch. This is brief, persuasive speech that you can use to spark interest in your project. It should clearly convey what makes your project unique. For example, our app revolutionizes language learning by offering personalized lessons powered by AI. That's an easy, comprehensive elevator pitch that everyone can understand from the get-go. Then we need to highlight our uniqueness. We need to emphasize what makes your project special. This could be an innovative feature, a unique approach, or a compelling benefit that competitors do not offer. If your product is the only one offering real-time data analytics, highlight this feature prominently. Then we need to answer the question, why choose us? We need to clearly state why someone should choose your project over a competitor. This involves understanding your strengths and effectively communicating them. For example, we could say, choose us for our unparalleled customer service available 24/7 to assist you with any issue. That's quite a simple one to understand, but the idea is to really make it clear why a user should choose you over the competitors. Then something to be aware of is that you should be always open to change. You're going to gather feedback and data all along your journey, and you should be willing to refine and adjust your USP to better align with the market needs and expectations based on everything you find. You need to align your marketing campaigns and messaging around your USP. So having an updated and in real-time USP is extremely important. Now, we'll discuss branding, which is a very, very important part of the marketing sector. So, branding is essential for creating a memorable identity for your project. All right. Let's break down the key elements that we'll talk about more in detail later. So, brand identity. So this includes your brand's name, logo, and slogan. You need to choose a name that is unique, easier to remember, and reflective of what your brand stands for. We're going to talk about this more. Then is the brand personality. We need to define the traits and tone of voice that your brand will use in all communications. This personality should resonate with your target audience and be consistent across all channels. Then we're going to talk about brand values. We need to establish your brand's core goals and values. These should align with your global mission and vision statements and be reflected in your actions and messaging. For example, Patagonia's brand values include environmental sustainability, which is reflected in their products and business practices. Then we need to have a clear brand messaging, a clear and consistent messaging that conveys your brand's value proposition. We'll make sure that all legal considerations are addressed to avoid potential issues. We'll talk about this more. Then we need to talk about the visual style and design. We will talk about how to create a cohesive visual style that includes color schemes, typography, and design elements. This visual identity should be consistent across all platforms and materials. Then we need to define the brand story. We are going to explain why it's important to develop a compelling brand story that explains why you do what you do. We'll include vision, goals, values, and the journey of the brand. This can be featured on your about page, white paper, and other marketing materials. It's very important. We'll talk more about coherence and consistency. Ensuring all brand elements are coherent and consistent is really important. Builds trust, recognition among your audiences, and enables loyalty. We'll then talk about brand positioning, how to position your brand against competitors by highlighting your USP and differentiating factors. And we'll finally talk about brand awareness, how we focus on building brand awareness and loyalty through consistent and valuable interactions with your audience. So now let's go in detail for each of these elements. So let's first talk about the brand name. Brand name is a critical step. Your brand name should be unique. You need to make sure it stands out and it is not easily confused with other brands. This helps avoid trademarks issues as well, but especially differentiates yourself from all the companies being created nowadays. For example, Google is a unique and memorable name that stands out in the tech industry. Secondly, it needs to be easy to spell. So I try and remember that a brand name needs to be easy to spell when you hear it and easy to speak or tell the name when you read it. These both ways are important to define a simple and easy to spell name, easy to say name, let's say, that enhances brand recall and reduces the chances of miscommunication. This is really important when someone is going to say, hey, do you know this brand? And the name is too complicated, that other person will not remember it for any future potential collaborations or becoming a user of this brand. We need to decide if the brand name is going to be descriptive or abstract. So decide whether you want your name to be very similar to what your business is going to do, or decide if your name is going to be completely different and abstract. Both are fine. For example, PayPal is quite descriptive of its services, while Spotify is more abstract, but it still works. Lastly, we can talk about the cultural reference. We need to think about incorporating cultural references if they align with your brand. This can help build a connection with your target audience. Nike is a great example because it was named after the Greek goddess of victory and reflects the brand's association with sports and triumph. For instance, consider the simplicity and memorability of brand names like Google or Apple. Both names are easy to spell and unique in their industries. Next, we're going to talk about the logo. It's very, very important to have a logo that represents your brand. There's a couple of things that you can do that can ensure that the logo is recognized. For example, the logo needs to be eye-catching. Your logo should grab attention and make a strong first impression. And look at the Ethereum logo, look at the Solana logo. They're very memorable. Then we need to talk about the color scheme. It's important to use colors that represent your brand's personality and appeal to your target audience. For example, we know that the translucent color scheme that Solana has is proprietary to them. We recognize them instantly. Or the Binance yellow. That's a very easy one to recognize. We then need to talk about communicating the brand's personality. The design should reflect the essence of your brand, whether it's modern, playful, professional, etc. The Dogecoin logo, for example, is clearly more playful with the Doge meme in the background. Lastly, The logo needs to be distinctive and recognizable. It's important to ensure that your logo is unique and easily identifiable. There's a lot of recognizable logos that we could give examples of, but to name a few mainstream ones, we could take the Nike logo or the McDonald's logo. These are super simple logos that are very powerful and instantly recognizable. We're then going to talk about slogans. So a good slogan can encapsulate your brand's message in a memorable way. When creating a slogan, we can focus on keeping it simple, short, and easy to remember. For example, for Emergo, in this case, it's built on Cardano. Simple, effective, and clear. We need to make the logo powerful. Make sure it conveys, the slogan powerful. Make sure it conveys a strong message about your brand. For example, for Cardano, very strong, making the world work better for all. We need to keep the slogan concise. Avoid unnecessary words, get straight to the point. And we need to reflect brand values. We need to ensure it aligns with your brand's values and missions. For example, for the Cardano Foundation, it's empowering the architects of the future. And this is a very important point, and it can guide you in a lot of marketing strategies later on. We're now going to talk about the tone of voice. Your brand's tone of voice is how you communicate with your audience, and it should be consistent. You need to maintain the same tone of voice across all channels to build a cohesive brand image. It needs to be reflective of brand personality. Your tone of voice needs to match the tone to your brand's personality. Are you formal? Are you casual? Are you serious, or are you fun? Sorry. Lastly, it needs to be appropriate for your audience. You need to tailor your tone to resonate with your target's audience, preferences, and expectations. Oh, a financial service company might use a professional and reassuring tone, while a lifestyle brand could be more casual and engaging. We're then going to talk about visual style and design. Your visual style and design elements should create a cohesive and recognizable brand identity. We're going to focus on 3 parts. First, the color schemes. It's important to choose colors that represent your brand and evoke the desired emotion in your audience. For example, the Cardano blue. It's a very clear blue, everyone knows it, and Cardano is associated to it. We then need to discuss the typography. So this is the fonts used overall, and it needs to remain consistent and needs to also go well with the logo. Then we need to talk about all design elements. We need to use a consistent design elements such as shapes, icons, imagery that align with your brand identity, with the logo, for example, with the colors. Everything needs to be aligned overall. Just gonna take some water. I'm going to take some non-Web3 examples. But brands like Coca-Cola and Spotify have very strong visual identities that are immediately recognizable due to their consistent use of colors, red for Coca-Cola and green for Spotify, typography, and design elements. Consistency is really key in design. We're now going to define the brand story. It's a powerful tool to connect with your audience. When crafting your brand story, we need to include 4 things. The first one is the vision. We need to clearly state what your brand aims to achieve in the long term. Second, our goals. What are your brand's specific objectives, and how do you plan to achieve them? Then we need to define the values, the beliefs. You need to share the core values and beliefs that drive your brand. Define these values, as they'll help you define the rest of the marketing strategies. And then we need to understand why you do what you do. It's important to explain the purpose behind your brand's existence. These 4 points will define the brand story that you can use for any marketing strategy. And communications that you'll start pushing when you do. It's important that the brand story is coherent and has coherence and consistency. And that's my next point. Quick underlining of the importance of coherence and consistency in your branding efforts. This is key to building trust and recognition. We need to ensure that all brand elements are aligned. Your name, logo, slogan, tone of voice, and visual style should all work together to create a unified brand image. We need to keep the messaging consistent. It's important through all platforms, all ways of communications, to keep the messaging consistent. That means, as we defined before, the tone of voice, the words that we use, the way we describe the company, the brand story, the definition of founders, for example, explanations of the teams. This should all be really aligned with the rest of the brand and should be consistent. Lastly, we should do regular audits. It's really important to periodically review your branding materials to ensure that everything remains consistent and aligned with your brand's identity. So it's worth mentioning a couple of legal considerations. As it's crucial to avoid potential pitfalls. This is going to be much more specific based on what we just talked about. So firstly, we need to be compliant. It's important to follow the rules and regulations that apply to your jurisdiction or area of operations. This includes advertising standards, data protection laws, and consumer rights. For example, ensure your marketing practices are comply with the GDPR if you operate in the EU. Secondly, it's important to seek legal advice to ensure that you're sorry. Sorry. It's important to ensure that you seek legal advice so that your marketing practices are compliant. This helps in avoiding lawsuits and investigations that can damage your reputation and deter customers, investors, and partners. It's important to consult with legal experts to understand the regulations in your industry, especially crypto, blockchain, Web3 is a very, very complicated industry to navigate legally. So it's important to reach out to legal professionals, which we have a lot of at Storm Partners. Third, we should avoid promises. It's important to not comment on asset price performance or promote your project's crypto assets as investments. As a rule of thumb, it's important to not do that. We avoid promising financial gains or profits to users or customers. That means that you need to refrain from using language that suggests guaranteed returns in your marketing material. Lastly, we need to make sure that our emoji use is cautious. There are certain emojis that can be interpreted as financial advice. such as rockets, chart increasing, or money bags emojis. This can lead to misleading communications that can then lead to legal troubles. You should use emojis that align with your brand's messaging and not with investment and speculation type emojis. Sorry, 2 seconds. So now we're going to talk about what you need to build an effective marketing team. Well, this is really the wide scope of building a marketing team. And we'll start from the bottom, from the top to the bottom of the scale. Sorry, my voice is breaking up. So a strong marketing team is essential to execute your strategies effectively. As a startup, of course, your marketing team will be limited, but as you grow, it's important to know all the different roles of a marketing team. So firstly, there's the Chief Marketing Officer, the CMO. The CMO leads the marketing efforts and sets the overall strategy. The CMO oversees all marketing activities and ensures alignment with the company's visions and goals. Then we have the marketing director. Marketing director manages the marketing department and ensures alignment with the business goals. Then we have the marketing director coordinates between different teams and oversees the implementation of marketing strategies. Then we have marketing managers. These can be specialized roles, including general marketing manager, digital marketing manager, product marketing manager, and brand marketing manager. Each manager focuses on their area of expertise, ensuring cohesive execution of the marketing plan. Then we have a content manager who oversees content creation and strategy, ensuring it aligns with the brand's voice and goals. Then in the marketing team, we have copywriters, editors, who are responsible for writing and editing content across all marketing materials. The copywriter creates compelling copy for ads, blog posts, and social media, while the editor ensures all content is polished and error-free. It would be a good idea to have a legal representative that makes sure all copy is legally compliant. Then we have the social media manager. So the social media manager manages social media strategy, content, and engagement. Social media manager develops campaigns, posts content, and interacts with followers to build brand presence. Then we might have a community manager. Community manager engages with the community and manages relationships with users and customers. Community managers are especially important in Web3. With platforms such as Discord and Telegram, there needs to be someone that will handle the community, moderate forums, organize events, and respond to the users in a more direct way. It's important for fostering a loyal community. Initially, as an entrepreneur, you're probably going to be the community manager. But as you grow, it's important to have someone that's dedicated to this role, as it generally takes a long time. Then we'll have the PR and comms manager. This person will handle events and partnerships to promote the brand. The event manager organizes trade shows, webinars, and partnerships to increase brand visibility and engagement. Within the marketing team, we generally have visual designers. These include graphic designers, video editors, and web designers who create visual content. Designers will create visuals for ads, social media, websites, and other marketing material to ensure consistent branding. Again, with consistency, which is really, really important. Then we have marketing specialists. These roles can be focused on SEO, PPC, data analysis, and email marketing, for example. Just going to take some water. So coordinators generally assist with scheduling. No, sorry. SEO specialists optimize website content for search engines, while the PPC specialists manage paid advertising campaigns. Wow, my voice is really terrible. Sorry, guys. So then lastly, we'll talk about marketing coordinator, assistant, interns. They support the marketing team with various tasks and projects. Coordinators assist with scheduling, project management, and administrative tasks to keep the team organized, for example. The importance is to focus on hiring skilled individuals who align with your brand values and foster a positive team culture. This is all for the building marketing team. Let me just drink some water, clear my voice, and then we'll continue with the. Okay, I'm back. So now we'll talk about a super interesting part, which is using AI. I mean, especially as a startup, you don't have a marketing team that's as big as the previous slide. It's important to utilize tools that can help you create marketing strategies and ideas and brainstorming and just general approach to marketing that can be more efficient and can help you, especially as an entrepreneur. AI is really revolutionizing the marketing landscape. And here are a couple of ways you can leverage AI tools effectively. It's constantly evolving. So as new tools emerge, important to stay updated and know what you can use. So it's also important to know how to differentiate yourself with the use of AI, since AI is widely used. Differentiate your brand by integrating AI in unique ways. This could involve using AI for personalized marketing, predictive analytics, or chatbots for customer service. You could use an AI to create personalized email campaigns that cater to individual user preferences. We need to focus on the people. Of course, prioritizing hiring talented individuals and building a positive team culture is the most important. AI should enhance their skills, not replace them. As an early entrepreneur, of course, it's amazing to use AI, but as soon as you can hire people that can manage your marketing department, this is extremely important. We can use AI as a co-pilot. So we use AI to assist your team with repetitive and routine tasks. It's freeing up your team to focus on strategy development, which is much more important and can have a much wider impact. So AI can be used to create a more efficient workflow that will, in turn, create more efficient strategies because your team will develop them. So I think we've all heard about ChatGPT. And in ChatGPT, there is a custom feature that enables you to create custom GPTs for specific tasks such as content generation, data analysis, customer interactions. It's more specifically within the content generation, there can be a lot of different parts. For example, caption creation, thread creation, drafting a press release. There's a lot of different ways to do it. For example, creating custom GPT to handle customer inquiries, or a custom GPT to create ideas to talk about in a webinar or things like that. There is, though, a lot of legal and ethical considerations to keep in mind. We need to ensure that your use of AI complies with relevant regulations and ethical standards. There's one point that I can also add is the use of AI for design purposes. There's a lot of different AIs that can help you in brainstorming your initial designs for your brand. So the logos, typography, even website creators that can be website AI creators that can create websites in a very easy way. I'm running out of water, but okay, so now I wanted to take a little bit of a specific look into some of the Web3 brands that we all know that have successfully implementing the marketing fundamentals that we discussed today. I think that by analyzing these case studies, we can gain insights into how to apply these strategies to your projects. Ellie is just bringing me some water. Thank you. All right. So we'll start by talking about all these brands you can see here. And I'm going to start with Uniswap. So Uniswap has particularly been successful in product market fit and community engagement. Uniswap, a decentralized exchange protocol, has excelled in finding product market fit and engaging its community. So Uniswap clearly positions itself as a decentralized exchange protocol with a unique automated liquidity provision model. They identified a clear need for a decentralized, permissionless trading platform that could provide liquidity without intermediaries. Uniswap focused on simplifying the user experience for swapping tokens, which attracted users looking for ease and use and efficiency. They addressed the issue of liquidity in decentralized exchanges, providing a solution that was both innovative and user-friendly. That's their problem that they solved. Uniswap actively engages with its community through governance, tokens, allowing users to vote on key protocol changes. This approach not only increases user investment, but also fosters a loyal and participatory community. Now let's look more at the logo, the brand of Uniswap, brand identity. We can see that this is a very, very recognizable logo. It's a unicorn, and the colors bright pink. Uniswap has done a great job in creating a simple logo that is very recognizable with the colors that go with. Now let's talk about Chainlink. So we'll talk more about competition analysis and their USP, more specifically. Chainlink is a decentralized Oracle network, effectively distinguished itself in the competitive blockchain space. So Chainlink identified a critical gap in the market for reliable and secure data feeds for smart contracts. They saw that while many projects were focusing on blockchain technology, few were addressing the need for off-chain data. Chainlink's USP is its secure and reliable method of connecting smart contracts with off-chain data. They decentralized their network of oracles No, their decentralized network of oracles provides tamper-proof inputs and outputs, setting them apart from their competitors who rely on centralized solutions. So they leveraged previous findings. By understanding the limitations of their competitors, Chainlink was able to emphasize their USP, gaining trust and adoption in the markets. More specifically, their logo is super recognizable, very simple, clear colors, and something that you will remember. Now we're going to talk about Aave. It's more specifically with their branding and their tone of voice. So Aave, a decentralized lending protocol, has established a strong brand identity through consistent branding and a well-defined tone of voice. Their brand identity is consistent with their color scheme and has a minimalist design that appeals to its tech-savvy audience. Their branding includes a unique name, logo, and a memorable slogan, all reflecting their commitment to financial innovation. Their tone of voice remains professional yet approachable. The balance makes complex financial services accessible to a broader audience while maintaining credibility. Aave's communications reflect their personality traits of innovation, their reliability, and their user centricity, helping to build a strong connections with their audience. They also have this little ghost symbol and the color scheme, as you can see, it's very recognizable. Now let's talk about Decentraland. More specifically, their content marketing and community building. Decentraland is a virtual reality platform powered by the Ethereum blockchain. It excels in content marketing and community engagement. So Decentraland regularly publishes engaging content such as blog posts, tutorials, and virtual events. This strategy keeps their community informed and involved, enhancing user engagement and retention. Decentraland has developed detailed personas for their diverse user base, from virtual real estate investors to casual gamers, allowing for targeted content strategies. They actively engage their community through social media, forums, and virtual meetups. This approach fosters a strong sense of belonging and loyalty, crucial for the success of them. Sorry. This is crucial for the success. Sorry, my bad. This is crucial for the success of a virtual platform and any Web3 project, in my opinion. Community building, community engagement, creation of loyalty, making the users and the community members feel like they're a part of something bigger is crucial for the Web3 world. Now let's discuss Polkadot and their use of strategic partnerships and branding to get to create a successful multi-chain network. Polkadot collaborates with various projects and organizations to expand its ecosystem. These partnerships enhance Polkadot's utility and interoperability, attracting more projects to their network. Polkadot's branding emphasizes innovation and interoperability. They position themselves as a leader in connecting multiple blockchains seamlessly, which is reflected in their consistent messages and visual identity. You can see that in their logo, they have multiple dots. It can mean the multiple connections that they're trying to make. By leveraging their partnerships and maintaining a coherent brand message, Polkadot has successfully built a strong brand presence in the Web3 space. Their logo branding is very recognizable, their colors are recognizable, and they've made a strong impact. Lastly, we'll talk about OpenSea and their scalability and user experience. OpenSea is a leading NFT marketplace and has focused on scalability and enhancing user experience. OpenSea, more specifically, continually improved its platform to handle increased traffic and transactions. They address scalability issues by optimizing their backend infrastructure, while ensuring smooth user experience. We all know, I think, if you have dabbled a bit in the NFT market, the relevance of the OpenSea logo. It's clear, it's a boat, the colors are blue. The name is OpenSea, which is abstract, but at the same time could be linked to a marketplace. Platform, it's a very recognizable name. It's a very easy name to say. It's a very easy name to write. So they've done a great job with their visual style and design, and they keep it very consistent over all platforms and on their website and across all messaging. So in conclusion, I think today we've covered the fundamentals of marketing, including defining your product, market fit, identifying and understanding your target audience, conducting a thorough competitor analysis, crafting a unique selling point, building a strong identity, assembling an effective marketing team, leveraging AI tools, and navigating some legal considerations. We've also went through a lot of case studies and examples of successful Web3 companies that have created strong marketing basics, and that has surely helped them in their success. So now I'm open to any questions you might have. So yeah, feel free to ask any questions if you have some. Otherwise, if I was clear, that was great. No questions? Okay. Um, I hope you all had a very informative webinar. The next session is on Wednesday, 12th of June, and it's going to be about let me just double check. It's going to be about creating and executing a marketing strategy. So using all the basics that we've learned today to create efficient marketing strategies so that you can launch your communications and others. So yes, this is it for us today. Thank you for joining, and I hope you gained some insights. And see you next time. Goodbye.